this. We need platforms like this where we can discuss, where we can express our views and opinions, irrespective of our religions, irrespective of our parties or party affiliations, irrespective of whatever status we have in the society. An open space for all. To achieve the SDGs, there is no way we can avoid speaking about democratic institutions. But also to achieve these goals, there is no way we can avoid speaking about gender equality and gender justice. No way. For any sustainable development, we need men and women together. Men and women together. I think it was Socrates who said, if you really want to develop a society, you have to educate both men and women. Otherwise, it's like training only one hand, one of your hands to work and leaving the other idle. There's no way you will be able to perform properly. So that's why we as religious leaders, despite all our weaknesses, we have taken the issue of women participation and involvement in the political and economic spheres seriously. As religious leaders, we have a very, very special role, without ruling out other agents in the society, of educating people, of awareness raising in the society. I've been listening to the questions being directed to Father Kitima here, but please let us not forget the role which has been played by religious bodies in education, in emphasizing education for girls, equal education for boys, but also in some areas we have gone even further. We today, for example, in my denomination, we have women priests, with something which was unspeakable. You could not, a few decades ago, you could not speak of women priests. Gender equality and women empowerment has been our key agenda, even in our strategic plans. We have a number of women in high-level leadership, like directors, like general secretaries of some of the dioceses and of some in our institutions, we have directors and so on and so forth. So we've got a number of them, of women, who are representing, who are representatives even in our executive councils and general assembly. One positive experience I have and one I want to share is the role of interfaith dialogue, of working together, people of different faiths. In my own area, we have initiated interfaith dialogue, and now we have moved from interfaith dialogue into interfaith action together. And it has been very, very fruitful in all what we have been discussing here. Speaking of women in higher positions, in decision-making positions, I would say Tanzania, so far, we should not neglect the fact that there has been a very positive progress. And some may say that maybe it was by God's hand only, and I believe in God too that we now have, or some say it was by accident. I don't say it was by accident that we have a female president now. It was the fact that some men saw the importance of having women in the decision-making bodies that we have come to have a female president. We should take that as an opportunity. We should take that as a motivation to show that it is possible. It is possible if we are really determined to emphasizing equality, gender equality, even in the decision-making bodies and in businesses. I've also heard about women's solidarity. And this, when we are talking about women empowerment, women involvement, I want to ask you, my sisters and daughters, who elects these men? Who puts these men into these positions? I remember time before the general elections, we volunteered, and thanks also to our partners, we volunteered to give civic education, electoral education. Of course, at some point we were prohibited, don't mix religion with politics, we were told, but it is our right, and we stand to that we will continue to educate people and educate them about their rights in electing their leaders. But I was very much discouraged to see how women were really involved in that and how they were participating in that. And some women were even involved in discouraging some their fellow women campaigners, you know. Did I say now, if we're talking of women, there should be a spirit of solidarity among women. You have a common agenda, you want to push this forward. Please form a solidarity. Don't agree to be divided into, I would say, partisan, into partisan categories. Have a common agenda. We want to promote women participation, and you have a very, very key role to play. So my question is, how do the few women who have at least had a chance and the opportunity to achieve or to come to a position of decision making, how are you really contributing to enabling, empowering those who have not made it? It has been said here, the role of a role model. How are women being a role model to the younger generation? Democracy, my dear friends, is a living process. And to achieve some of the goals, we need persistence. We need patience. We need time. But we also need, Mama Martha here, you spoke about the stamina. You know, you don't just, and my daughter there, you don't compete once and then you don't get it, you are not elected. You see, as women, you give up and then you just go home and say, I said, women, you know, we can't. You have to be persistent in that, and when we call for really democratic a society and the place of women and the role of women in participation, we need to be persistent. Keep pushing, keep asking for, keep fighting for that, and never give up. It is my trust that and I believe that with this energy, with this stamina and determination, commitment to that, we can change our society. We can bring about the change in our society. A democracy talk like this one we are having here is an opportunity, and it will bear fruits. And that's why I want again to give my special thanks for the ambassador for opening up this space, and thank you for all who have organized this. I would like to see such spaces opening even in the future, more spaces opening in the future. With these few remarks, let me just say don't and never give up, and don't forget that we need a very serious dialogue between men and men in order to be successful even in the issue of women participation and gender equality in our society. Thank you. Thank you very much.